Wednesday, by the way. Come on, Facebook, jump on, jump on. It's spinning. There we go. Good morning, Facebook. Good to see you. You were spinning for just a second. So how was everybody's Wednesday? Halfway through the week. Let's check in, see how we're doing, see what kind of progress do you feel like you're making in the month of July? I would love to know. I know that there were some hiccups over the 4th of July with people. And so I kind of helped navigate that a little bit with some people. But guess what? The next challenge is coming up again, August 12th, August 12th, August 12th, August 12th, Monday through Friday. We'll go live 2 p.m. Central Standard Time in the Facebook group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, and we'll get you recalibrated again so that you can take on the month of August. And then guess what we're going to do in September? We're going to do it again. We're going to do another challenge. And I'm telling you, you guys, I feel like there are different pieces that are helpful for different people. So some people, you just want to know, like, what the heck, how in the world will you ever trade out your ingredients? How will it ever happen? And I am like, okay, I'm the Italian girl and I'm going to help you do that. And then some of you are like, I need a visual. Like, what does your refrigerator look like? Because mine isn't where it needs to be. Well, I'll do that too. Okay. So we'll give you a track to run on. And I love that so much. I love the fact that you can have the encouragement and the support behind what you're already doing. How does that sound? Okay. So we're doing a gut health series this week. And the reason why is because there are different layers of why you're having a hard time losing weight. There are different layers why you're being impeded. Impeded. What a word, right? But it's impeding your weight loss. And so if you don't know who I am, my name is Kirsten Liebelt. I have to slow down. Hi, how you doing? So my name is Kirsten Liebelt, and I was raised by an insulin-dependent type 2 dad. It was my entire life. I knew where the hypodermic needles were in, in his dresser drawer. I knew where the insulin vials were that you didn't touch in the refrigerator, all of the things. Okay. And he died at 63. And so I'm super passionate and I'm super Italian. So there you go. That's all you need to know, right? But anyway, so I really do like to have this conversation because I was able to turn back around my insulin resistance starting about 10 years ago, a little over. And with somebody who was totally addicted to sugar and had no clue what I'm talking about. So in understanding insulin resistance and all of the different areas that it affects our life, as we talk about those, you get more information to be able to actually then have lenses. You're changing your glasses as to how you're viewing your weight loss. Because if you view it for the lens of insulin resistance, good morning, Magda. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. Then you'll feel more empowered. Let's empower you to stop shaming yourself over the things that you're eating and to start giving you a reason of understanding as to why we switch the things that we do. Good morning, Cheryl. Good to see you. And that's what we can do. So housekeeping 101. So I have been letting people know that the glucose product out of the trio are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. And they have all of the testimonies, not all of them, but they have a majority that I've posted on my Instagram page. At the top, there's a pink. This is pink. I know it looks orange on other platforms, but this is literally like a bubblegum pink. A pink highlight bubble at the top of my Instagram page. Go watch all of those testimonies and get your heart encouraged. Okay. But the housekeeping is that the glucose health is out of stock. Well, I have secured inventory, so I am shipping it out for people. And I know this is working that I'm talking about housekeeping like this because people are reaching out to me and saying, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said something. Because maybe you already went on and ordered the other 2 and you thought you just had to sit and wait for that 3rd piece to come in. I've got you. I've got your back. So basically I just do a Venmo transaction and then I ship it to you for free because you've already incurred the cost of shipping by purchasing the other 2 products. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. If you know, you know. There should be a sign for that. What is it? So if you know, you know. There you go. Sign language. Okay. If you know, you know. And if that pertains to you, or if that is something that you have been wanting to do and you're like, I was about to pull the trigger. I was about to start the trio, get it for the August 12th challenge. Do not be dismayed. Do not be discouraged. I got you. I got you. We're going to get you on a track to run on. Targeted supplementation, ingredient trade outs, and let's do a challenge every single month. Liz, you started on July 8th and you're down, you say you're only down 2 pounds. That's good. But I noticed this morning you didn't have any joint. Liz, you noticed you didn't have any joint pain. And way to go on the 2 pounds, by the way. The amount of joint pain I've been living with since I was 16. At that age, I was run over by a car while riding my bike. Thank you, Liz. So that has a direct, so of course we don't make any claims on this platform, do we? No, we don't. We don't make any claims. And I am not a doctor, right? I'm just an Italian girl who figured this out. This is a really big piece of my conversation with people. You have to understand the whole reason why this is important is that I'm not a doctor or anything is because we have to become our own advocates. We have to do this for ourselves, you guys. So we're like a little team and a little tribe and a little village of our own that are saying we're going to take back our bodies and we're going to finally, once and for all, feel better so that we can create more memories. Now, I know a lot of the testimonies have fast weight loss. I get it. I know this. So she's thinking that she's slow she started on July 8th. So what's the date today? Today's the 24th. Okay. And she's lost 2 pounds. You're happy to belong to this team. Yay, Liz. Team insulin resistance. I like it. Oh, Lori, thank you for all the likes. You're amazing. But you guys, you have to understand, like seriously today, and then I'll talk about this in just a second. Today, I'm going to go and meet in person somebody who found me online, a stranger, and she lives like 15 minutes from me. And I'm going to go deliver glucose health to her. You guys, this is so much fun. Like, we can do this. We can actually decide that we're going to do things differently, and we're going to shut out the noise of all of the bad, dumb information. I need to commit myself. Somebody sent me a chart of foods that were recommended to her when she was gestational diabetic with her baby in 1988. And I was 1989 when I had my son. So the exact same time that I was gestational diabetic. You guys, the information is crap. It's trash. And I don't think it's gotten any better. And the only reason why I say that is because I spent 5 years from 2018 until 2023, 5 straight years with my mother in facilities who was type 2 with dementia and my brother who was in facilities. Every facility known to mankind between the two of them for 5 years. And they were both type 2 and it was trash information. It was terrible. It was horrible. It was awful. It was ridiculous. I get so fired up. It's Fired Up Wednesday. That's what we're doing today. So this is why this is what she's saying. Listen. So she started the trio on July 8th. Those are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. I started them over 10 years ago. This isn't a marketing ploy. This isn't a gimmick. They're not even packaged a certain way that you think I have bells and whistles and pretty things. This is just science. Okay. Science of how to get your body to function from the inside out. She's lost 2 pounds, but she noticed this morning, listen to this. I don't have any joint pain. The amount of joint pain, and this is not everybody has this result. Okay. So I'm just telling you, I get different results from different people. I don't have any joint pain. The amount of joint pain that I have been living with since I was 16, Liz, my heart. At that age, I was run over by a car while I was riding my bike. Thank you. So can anybody tell me, and this is for real, do you know why her story is that her joint pain went down? Does anybody know the connection? I would love to know if anybody knows that. And if you don't, that's okay. But I think I'm going to guess at it, and I'm probably right. So when somebody is listening to my content, and if you're on here, you're probably wanting to either avoid the matrix or exit the matrix. Lori, you're absolutely right. Inflammation. Because when you have high insulin, you automatically have high inflammation because that's what your body's doing, right? And then we're going to get into the gut health, I promise you. When we have this overconsumption of carbohydrates over a long period of time, just hello, poster child. I was 22 when I got pregnant with my first baby, gestational diabetic, poking my fingers 4 times a day. Okay. I was hypoglycemic with my second baby. I passed out in the shower. Both sides of the exact same coin. Nobody ever told me nothing when I left the hospital. Nothing. Like, why would they? I lived for 20 years not doing anything about my sugars. I take full responsibility for that. Like, I just lived my best life, even though at 30, my dad dies. And he's Italian. I have a lot of obesity and type 2 in my Italian family. Okay. I don't do anything about it until I'm in my 40s. My weight starts to increase, even worse. Like, what do you mean this gets worse, right? And my mom won't leave me alone about my sugars. Well, what happens is your cell over time becomes resistant. And so your sugars are rising and your pancreas is releasing insulin. Like if your sugar's rising over here, your pancreas is releasing insulin to try to get that glucose into the cell, get that glucose into the cell. We need fuel in the cell, but the cell goes, nope. We are closed for business, mister. Too much insulin in my cell. I am stuffed. But your pancreas goes, excuse me, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and I'm going to keep on making insulin, and I'm going to keep on trying. And so it just keeps on making insulin. Okay. Even though you're resistant. So now you just have increased inflammation. Do you understand? And now, like for Liz, this is her experience. She was having a lot of pain in her body, and it was associated to an accident that she had. But nonetheless, that pain needed to stop being so exacerbated by increasing inflammation. If you're doing something that's increasing the inflammation and making the pain worse, even if it's from something else. Good morning, Brenda. Good morning. You want to stop doing that, right? So she starts on the trio. The trio are very simple. 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. And yes, I know the glucose product is out of stock. And yes, I have inventory. I've secured even more as of last night in my home. So when people go on and you buy the other 2 products, you just let me know. We Venmo, I mail it for free so that you don't incur a second shipping cost. Okay. But her inflammation is down. And so she has said that the amount of her joint pain that she's been living with since she was 16, and that because she was run over by a car on her bike, riding her bike. And so she's saying thank you because she feels so good. And then side note, since July 8th, she's lost 2 pounds. Side note. So again, insulin and sugars are high. You're stuck and you can't lose weight. Insulin is a hormone. It messes up all your other hormones like a domino effect. Messes up all your other hormones. So now we need to back up the bus. Let's give our body the raw materials that it needs to function at a higher level. Bring down the insulin, bring down the sugars. Let's get your liver like revved up again, baby, because it metabolizes your fat. Every girl needs to know that. And we're not told that. So anyway, that's very, 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 very exciting. Yay, Carla. Loma. Good morning, Loma. Good to see you. Carla, yay, I'm here. Good morning, Kirsten and all. Oh, you guys, you're so fun. All my friends are here. You guys are all here. This is so fun. And like I was just saying, I get to go and meet a customer of mine and deliver a glucose product to her today. She lives 15 minutes from me. I just think that's really cool. God connects me to the most fun people, the most amazing people. This is a good journey. And, not everybody on, the business team does like what I do. Not everybody has to. However, I know that I will continue to coach and mentor people in social retailing. I know that I'll continue to do this because it really is, it's a great way to not just make an extra stream of income, but it's a great way to meet people and to serve people. All right, here we go. So we're going to talk about gut health. On Monday, we talked about why insulin resistance actually affects your gut and ruins your gut. Like, why is that a connection? And then yesterday, we talked about 5 foods that you could be eating that are messing up your gut. And we did that yesterday. And now today, what I wanted to do was I wanted to go through, let me find this. I wanted to go through, well, hold on, it's coming. I have to find my thing. I want to talk about 5 things that you might be doing that you don't even understand that you're doing. Okay. And like, what are the top 5 things that we could be like, whatever, in our just daily world that is increasing just the wreaking of havoc on your gut? And your gut system is literally, if it's messed up and all wonky, it could be keeping you from losing further weight. So this is a layered conversation that I want people to have, because sometimes I know the feeling of wanting just one answer. You just want a fix, right? Like, give me the fix, give me the magic pill, give me the magic answer, give me the whatever. But you know what? Like, even when you look at Liz, and she had a car accident at 6, well, she was ran over at 16. She was on her bike. So she has different factors in her world than you do. Her story is going to be different than your story. But if you understand that this is a healing journey from your inside out, and you just receive that as, we're going to walk this and the time is going to pass anyway, then you're way more inclined to stick to a routine. When we talk about supplementation, you're more inclined to do a challenge month after month after month in the Facebook group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. We're doing our 15th one, you guys. There are a couple people that have already done 7 of them in a row. So you can be your own advocate. We can kind of join arms and you can get a completely different result. You're not behind. The time is going to pass anyway. Where do you want to be by the end of 2024? So the first thing that people are doing, and maybe, for whatever reasons, because it's fine, but overuse of antibiotics. That's the number one thing. And if you think about that, yesterday we were talking about probiotic, because there's a gut health cart, that if you want my gut health cart, the 3 things to help, you can always put that in the comments on Facebook. And then on Instagram, you have to get into my messages, and TikTok, you have to jump over to Instagram. But anyway, this will be your 3rd challenge, Brenda. That's awesome. Your 3rd challenge. I'm telling you, you guys, it's just, repetition is the mother of all skill. We need to get a nugget. You can't get all the information at once. So every time you listen to somebody that you're enjoying, like if it's my content, just look for one nugget, maybe 1, maybe 2. Don't look for everything. So the overuse of antibiotics because they will kill both the harmful and beneficial bacteria in the gut, leading to an imbalance in the gut microbiota. It then can increase risk of infection, digestive issues like diarrhea, and weakened immune system. And so yesterday we were talking about the gut health cart, and about how when you have a probiotic, you have to have a probiotic that, like mine, I actually don't have it with me right now. It's a powder, and it has a prebiotic. It's in the cart. It's a prebiotic with 5 strains. Okay. And you want something that actually has science behind it, so that it's going to stay alive in your system and that's going to stick to your gut. But antibiotics, we can imagine they are killing the good bacteria. We got to get the good bacteria back in there. Number 2, I don't think anybody would guess number 2 if you thought about it. But isn't this interesting? And it's literally in all of our foods. High fructose corn syrup. So I've already known that high fructose corn syrup is like super bad for your liver. And when we talk about your liver, you should love your liver all the time. And that's another piece of the trio. But the reason why is because your liver governs the glucose in your blood, and it also governs your hormones, and insulin is a hormone and cortisol is a hormone. But also 2, it metabolizes your fat. So I've always known that, well, no, I have not always known. I learned on this journey, and have known for a while, that your liver, when you eat high fructose corn syrup, whether it's in a soda, you're drinking a Coke, a Dr. Pepper, whatever, high fructose corn syrup, pretty much guaranteed. Karen, thank you for the follow. Pretty much guaranteed. I guess not positive, but it can only be metabolized by your liver. Well, the reason why that's such a big deal is because other glucose doesn't have to go through the liver like that and get metabolized by it, but high fructose corn syrup does. And so you're being hard on your liver. But did you know that it can also be messing up your gut? So this is what it says. High fructose corn syrup, commonly found in sodas and processed foods, feeds harmful gut bacteria and promotes inflammation. The results are bloating, gas, diarrhea, and increased risk of insulin resistance and obesity. Okay, so that's probably not a huge shocker, but if you look on any granola bar, most granola bars, most prepackaged foods in general, if you look at most condiments, like I'm not positive, so I might be speaking out of turn and I don't mean to do that, but just check it for yourself and then you'll know. Like if you get your little Chick-fil-A sauce, turn it over. Does it have corn syrup in it? Just asking. Just check. Any sauce that you're probably getting at a restaurant, most condiments like that, right? So just telling you. So that's number 2. Number 3, chronic stress. Stress affects the gut-brain axis, altering gut motility and increasing inflammation. Hold on. Yep. Digestive issues like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, constipation, diarrhea, and a general feeling of discomfort. Okay. So stress is a big one. So it's not in the gut health cart. I have a different probiotic in there. But if you are the type of person that is like, I deal with so much stress. I take care of a dementia parent. I work, I work overnights. I have a really high stress job. There are some of you that are lawyers. There are some of you that are, oh man, I have so many different demographics that I could name off. Nurses, people that have like high stress, you're a nurse in the ER, whatever, and you just have this high, you're constantly in fight or flight for whatever reason. You can always reach out to me because I have a 1-2 thought process for you that would be very helpful. One is an extremely effective ashwagandha, and one is a stress probiotic specifically for somebody whose gut is like messed up because of stress. Okay. And I always tell people like my number is on my profiles for a reason, or messenger or inbox, but you can always text me and say, listen, I was on your live today and you were talking about that, the 2 things to help with stress. Like you don't even have to know the names. The 2 things that help with stress. Will you tell me what those are? I need that help. And you want things that are effective, and you want things that are off of organic farms, and you want things that are third-party tested. Okay. Kim says it'll be her 5th challenge. Love my new life changes. Kim, you are such a great testimony. Okay, let me see if I can remember your testimony, Kim. You have been on the trio for 3 months. Your A1C is down from a 6.9 to a 6.1, and you've lost 14 pounds. Am I right? I think that's correct. You let me know. Fix it though, because I don't like to get numbers wrong. Cheryl, you just got your first test result. Cortisol, super high. I know. Waiting to discuss plan with lab coach. Is cortisol a pain like insulin resistance? Yeah. So cortisol, insulin is a hormone. Cortisol is a hormone. They're both affecting your belly. So this is why I say to people, when you pick up the trio, which are helping you with insulin sensitivity, they're helping you to go from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive. If you already know that you're dealing with high cortisol, add on the ashwagandha, because the ashwagandha will help with sleep, stress, and mood. It's an adaptogenic herb, and adaptogenic herbs come in and they support your adrenals that sit on top of your kidneys, and your and they actually release your hormones. They regulate your hormones. Well, when you want that cortisol to come down, so the trio is already going to help on that level because of the liver product. What a lot of women don't know is that your liver, when it's functioning well, one of its functions, one of its jobs is to dump excess cortisol. So you actually do want that for sure. But if you need that extra layer, think about the ashwagandha and think about the stress probiotic for real. And then go back and get tested. Just saying. Yeah, to deal with stress work for high cortisol. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, Cheryl. So I take an ashwagandha. Now I'm doing this for, adaptogenic herbs just can give you such a great sense of well-being. And this is another conversation that maybe I need to do a series on just hormones in general. I started with one adaptogenic herb that I still take to this day, and that is inside of the purple packet. And it helped me with my brain fog, and it helped me to stop thinking that I'm crazy inside of me, and it helped me to simmer down that underlying anxiousness that you feel when you are in your 40s and you're perimenopausal and the fritzing is happening. Zzz, zzz, zzz. It feels like your synapses are not connecting or something. And you're like, what's wrong with me? I don't want anybody to know what's wrong with me. That's where I started. But then when they launched the ashwagandha recently, I started taking it because I wanted to know for myself how that was going to make me feel. So ashwagandha, another plant, a beautiful plant, it's helping with stress, mood, and sleep. Well, the mood piece, right? Like maybe as women, we can understand how we want that. But what I found out was that it doesn't make you sleepy when you take it, but it helps your internal system. So I take one in the morning. I just took mine for the morning. And now I'll take another one tonight when I go to bed with my magnesium. And my sleep is really good right now. It's really good. And the magnesium is a big piece of it, for sure. But that ashwagandha, it's very lovely. I'm just going to say. Question answered. Good, Cheryl. Good. Kim, yes. So I just love the fact that your testimony. So again, for anybody who's jumping on, good morning, Anna. I'm doing so well, Anna. So good to see you. She's been on the trio for 3 months. Her A1C has come down from a 6.9 to a 6.1, and she's lost 14 pounds. And what I do is the track that I give people to run on, and then I'm going to finish this up because I didn't mean to get sidetracked. But you guys always have such good stories for me. Start with targeted supplementation and get your body to fix itself from the inside out. Give it the raw materials that it needs. That's why I start with the trio, and then we do layer it, right? We do, like just talking to Cheryl about considering the ashwagandha, because sometimes people have very high cortisol. And like for her, she just got a lab back. So she can see it on a lab. There are some people I talk to, they just got their labs back and they're like, no, my cortisol is normal. Perfect. Right? Like good. Don't fix what's not broken. However, if you can start with targeted supplementation, and I like to think of it like you're power steering in your car, and you are, all of a sudden your power steering fluid goes out and you just literally cannot move that steering wheel. That's what that's like if your internal system is not working. But when you start to give it the raw materials that it needs, like filling in some nutritional deficiencies and helping it to actually like help your adrenals to like rise up and do what they need to do, or whatever, like that, when I'm talking about the purple packet. But when you do that, then that's the trio that I talk about. But then let's learn the ingredient trade outs, and let me try to take the concern out of it for you. Let me try to teach you that you can do one ingredient at a time, one recipe at a time, and you can actually make huge strides in your own mental capability of doing this. Being Italian, this is what I kind of know the most about. Maybe. And then the third thing is, let's do a challenge every month. And the next one is August 12th through the whatever it is, 5 days. And let's get you equipped. So Kim was just saying she really likes this, whatever this, I don't even know what you said, Kim. This will be my 5th challenge. Love my new life changes. Because again, I'm just trying to equip you. I want to teach you how to fish. So I don't want to just give you like, oh, here, just take some supplements and then I'm going to teach you nothing else with that. That's ridiculous. But what if you can like put that power steering fluid in, start doing this, so that you at least are encouraged as you move forward. Like, let's get a win under your belt right away so that you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going in the right direction finally. Okay, so there we go. The purple packet, Karen, that is actually 3 supplements inside of, I was going to see if I have it next to me. I have the remnants of one from this morning. It has 3 supplements inside, adaptogenic herbs, and all of your B vitamins that are time released. And so if you take it for, you have a lot of brain fog and you want mental clarity, that's where I started. My brain fog was off the charts and I could not multitask very well in a high stress position. This is when I noticed my issues and I thought something was wrong with me all the time. But anyway, so if you're tired and you have brain fog, that's a great place for that to start. But then if somebody over time wants to use it more intentionally, you would take one in the morning and one after lunch, one in the morning and one after lunch, because now you're taking those adaptogenic herbs that are in there. There's 3 of them. And you're kind of starting to dose yourself a little bit so that you can get your adrenals to be over time, like help your adrenals, because they regulate your hormones. And when your ovaries are tired and worn out and not doing their job anymore, your adrenals take over. That's a short answer to that. You're new here, you're 55, you're diabetic, your pre-A1C is 5.9, but hold on, excuse me, Instagram. You have an adrenal module that is being, it's monitored. Yeah. Okay. You do have a lot of brain fog. Yeah. So, and of course, now I'm not a doctor, Marissa. And so of course I don't know any scripts that you're on or anything. So, but in general, the conversation would be adaptogenic herbs are a beautiful gift from God. Very, very, very helpful. They changed my life. I didn't know they were going to change my life. So now I understand I'm having 2 conversations with you right now. So for anybody that feels a little confused, let's fix it. There are 3 supplements that are called the trio, and those help with insulin resistance. One of them is out of stock. That's okay. You can purchase the other 2, and then I'll do a transaction and mail you one. That's that conversation. The other conversation happens to be the purple packet they're asking about. The purple packet has adaptogenic herbs in it. It is a completely different product of 3 supplements inside of 1 packet. So instead of 3 bottles, it's 1 packet that has 3 inside of it. Okay. I hope that makes sense. And that's what the purple packet is. And when you come in and you can support your adrenals, and I never knew this. I didn't know any of this, you guys. I was super, super not connected to my body. I was super unaware. I was super going with the flow. I was major league addicted to sugar. I was major stress eater, emotional eater, Italian. Like this, who you see now is not who I was over 10 years ago talking about any of this. But God gave me some answers, and I'm just so grateful because adaptogenic herbs, like that purple packet conversation, that's what shifted it for me, because all of a sudden I was able to multitask, and I had a doctor, you guys, who was such a jerk. He was such a jerk. And he came and he worked 1 day a week. And the night before, I would be so freaking stressed out that he was coming into the clinic, and I was working front desk. And we had to be like on our game. Boom, 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 boom. And I'd be like, that's how I felt. And somebody came along and they gave me these adaptogenic herbs. I still take the exact same brand. I still take I'm just telling you, like, I don't know a lot. I can't compare a lot of things because I just didn't do it. Nobody was like in the insulin resistance conversation. Nobody was talking about berberine over 10 years ago. So I just don't know about it. Doesn't mean it's not helpful. I just don't know anything about it. Well, the same thing with adaptogenic herbs. I didn't know nothing. All I knew was that when I took my adaptogenic herbs on Wednesday mornings, my stress was so much better because it was kind of almost like I woke up. And that's actually what she said to me. She said, it's kind of like, you're just going to go like this. You're not going to have energy that's jittery. You're going to go like this. And you're going to be awake. And you're going to have clarity. That was the beginning of my journey. I then started taking it more often because I realized, well, why wouldn't I? So then I started doing that. And then over time, I realized, oh my gosh, these are actually helping my hormones. I'm not as anxious as I was. I'm not as sad as I was feeling, which was mimicking my postpartum. I'm not, I didn't realize until later in the game, and I won't go into that story right now, that it was actually keeping me from having hot flashes because it was helping me with my hormones. So when I understood that, I made sure that I continued my journey. And now I'm 59 and I ended up never having a hot flash. And I'm not on any meds. And I'm the only person that avoided type 2 in my family. And it's all because I did this. You guys, I thought ibuprofen was my supplementation routine. Just telling you, this is the easiest thing you can do. This is the hardest thing. Or the emotional connection to food. But we work on that too. Okay. And you can take them in the morning. You can, Anna. The ashwagandha, oh, you can take ashwagandha in the morning too, yes. Ashwagandha is another adaptogenic herb, not in the purple packet. It is separate. That one helps with stress, sleep, and mood. Okay? And you take 2 a day, spread out. I take 1 in the morning and 1 at night. Hi, Movie Mama. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for all the likes. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for following. Care Bear, thank you so much. I do appreciate it because you guys get me out on, when you engage with me on TikTok, you put me out onto the FYP and people can see my content. So I appreciate it very much. So basically what we were talking about, hold on, I'm going to find my stuff here. So we were talking about gut health. This is our 3rd day talking about gut health and the things that you could potentially be doing that are messing up your gut that maybe you didn't even know about. And those things are, I will just reiterate, number 1, overuse of antibiotics. Number 2, high fructose corn syrup. Number 3, chronic stress. Number 4 is the alcohol, because alcohol messes up your gut. And number 5 is actually over-the-counter medications like NSAIDs. So, and that literally was what I was, in my 30s, I actually did think that ibuprofen was like, my girlfriends and I, we took ibuprofen like it was candy. Like if you woke up and we were probably just dehydrated 99.9% of the time because all we did was drink coffee all day long and we never prioritized water. Like it's really kind of hysterical now that I go everywhere without water. And it's really even more funny. You know, there are memes that go around that say in the 80s, well, of course I was homeschooling in the 90s, but you know, in the 80s, like we never drank water. We only drank, you know, Diet Coke or whatever. Well, it's true. Like you weren't buying bottled water. Like that was ridiculous. I went to Italy in 1996 after my dad died. And, you know, they sell you bottled water because you can't drink their tap water. Right. And we just thought, this is ridiculous. Well, now it's a multi-billion dollar industry. Like it's crazy pants how much, you know, we spend, you know, anyway. I have a water system treatment that can save you a ton of money if you're ever interested. I've had to stop because I also don't want to drink out of plastic all the time. Okay, that's another conversation. That's a whole nother thing. Anyway, so over the use of NSAIDs, because they increased intestinal permeability, which is leaky gut, inflammation, and digestive discomfort. So all of these types of things, they will and the alcohol can irritate the gut lining, disrupt the balance of the gut bacteria, and increase intestinal permeability, which is leaky gut. And again, increased inflammation. So what happens is you start feeling chronic digestive discomfort, like maybe your tummy hurts, maybe you're frustrated all the time. You have bloating, like bloating that, you know, it's hard to zip up your jeans, bloating, right? Potential weight gain or loss. So the weight issue, people aren't connecting the gut to the weight issue. And it's another layer of impeding your weight loss. That's so frustrating. And skin issues due to systemic inflammation. So fix your gut, fix your mental health, FYI, fix your skin, fix your brain. Ibuprofen is what they think is the main cause for your kidney problems. Oh, movie mama. I'm so sorry. You know, and it's really frustrating because we just, and we have to take our own personal responsibility. And I get it, you know, like when it comes to like for me and my friends, some people are on stuff because they have to, that's why my mom could not take ibuprofen. She lost a kidney. Things happen and whatever, they put us on ibuprofen for different reasons. But for my girlfriends and I, we were just trusting whatever they put on the market. If it's on the shelf, it must be fine. That was our attitude. That's also why we took that weight loss supplement called Metabolife that got banned, because we just really did. We just trusted. You took mega amounts of ibuprofen for your knees. Yep. Oh, you guys. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know that's so frustrating. And then we have to back up, right? We got to back up and get stuff fixed again from the inside out. So gut health is crucial for long-term well-being due to its extensive influence on various aspects. These are the things that it's influencing in your body, and you might not know it. So your immune system function, your nutrient absorption. This is why we have nutrient deficiencies. And sometimes they're so simple, you guys. Simple, simple. Mental health. I love talking about this one. The gut-brain axis is a complex communication network between the gut and the brain. Gut health influences the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin. A healthy gut can reduce the risk of mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, and cognitive decline. Chronic disease prevention, weight management, digestive health, and skin health. Maintaining good gut health is vital for overall well-being, affecting everything from immunity and nutrient absorption to mental health and chronic disease prevention. Long-term gut health ensures a higher quality of life, better physical and mental health, and increased longevity. Increased longevity. Thank you, Movie Mama, for all the likes. I really appreciate you. I probably have missed stuff here on Instagram. I don't know. I can tell it wasn't moving on me. Good morning. Good morning. I did miss stuff. Is the purple packet the same as the trio? It's not. It's not. It's separate. That's adaptogenic herbs and B vitamins in the purple packet. The trio are three separate bottles, and those are very specific for insulin resistance. Going from insulin resistance to insulin sensitive, trying to get it's almost like, and I'm super layman because I'm not a doctor or a biologist. When your cell is closed, you want your cell to do this. You want it to become sensitive to the insulin putting the glucose back into the cell. It's closed. You need it to open. So this is helping you on a cellular level. Okay. You want to get your cells opening up again. It's a very important conversation because then you're finally able to lose weight. Then, like Liz was saying, her pain is down. This is literally only since July 8th, you guys. And this is the trio conversation, by the way. Only since July 8th, you guys. And for her story is that the pain that she was having because of a car accident, she was on a bike. She was 16. She got ran over by a car. She has a lot of pain. And she herself said, and in fact, I should just find it here. I'm on StreamYard, so I can do this. So she says, I started the trio on July 8th. I'm only down 2 pounds, which is good. But I noticed this morning I didn't have any joint pain. The amount of joint pain I've been living with since I was 16. At that age, I was ran over by a car when riding my bike. Thank you. And it's because of the bringing down of inflammation in your body. You know what, Lisa, the glucose product supplement for that they're saying August 5th, but this is the dealio. I sold out of my own inventory, and last night I got I worked with my local business associates and I secured more inventory. So this is what I do. When people are like, I want the trio, but that the glucose product is out of stock, please reach out to me because you can purchase the other two and whatever else you want. Like if somebody else is like, I need some gut stuff or I need some ashwagandha for stress or whatever, fine, go do that. But then let me know. I do a simple Venmo transaction, or sometimes people will even mail me a check. I will ship it to you for free because they are out of stock. And you are already incurring shipping, most likely. Okay. So I will ship it to you for free, just to let you know. Thank you for asking though. You've had that problem, inflammation, your numbers go up and down. I know. It's just because high insulin equals high inflammation. But we can change this. We can change the level of inflammation going on in our body. We can absolutely do this. And this is my call to action for everybody. Like, if you want to avoid the matrix or you need to exit the matrix because you feel like you're just getting the runaround, maybe you feel like you're being, and again, I'm not against the medical community. I'm not at all. Listen, I was a part of it for 5 years with my mom and my brother, and I'm just looking to like avoid it as much as possible, right? Like I'm just a normal person thinking, just in general. Like my grandma, who passed at 97 playing Scrabble, she never went to the doctor. That wasn't normal. She didn't go to the doctor. She wasn't in the hospital. That was the norm. That was in 1996, 7. She died, so it must have been 96. Doesn't matter, because I think she was born in 1899. Her whole life, do you guys realize how close it was that people didn't go on a regular basis? Do you understand how close it is that it was not common to be on 3 scripts in your 50s? That's their average now because they've designed it that way. I'm just telling you, like, it's not that we're not that far removed, but we've forgotten because maybe we don't remember our grandparents and how they, were living with mental clarity, how they were living with like function. Like my grandma crocheted like a job. I'm not even kidding you. She would wake up in the morning because it gave her purpose. So she would, Linda, you're so sweet. Oh, yay. Oh, she loves the rhodiola and the book gifted to you. I'm so glad. Did I send you something, Linda? I'm so glad. You have type 2 diabetes. What do you do to help lower your A1C? Well, Jude, you can always reach out to me on there's a number. My profile is right here. If you click on my face, it'll come up again. And then you click on your face and it will show my number, my digits. And you can text my digits and say, I was on your live and I'd like to know about the trio. Okay, you can do that. But no, seriously, you guys, it really matters that we begin to have this thought process that we can turn things around, that what used to be normal isn't anymore. And it's okay for us to ask why. Why is it not? Why is this changed? You're welcome, Jude. And I mean that for real. Like I put my contact information out there for a reason. So somebody can say to me, hey, I was on your live and you talked about that trio, those 3 supplements that will help me with my sugars and my insulin. Will you, what are they? Send me a cart. I just need to see them in a cart. I'll do that for you. Anyway, I think about stuff like this. I don't know if other people think about stuff like this, but my grandma, I was telling you, she crocheted like a job. She would wake up in the morning because she lived with my mother at the last 6 years of her life. And then my mother lived with us because of dementia, not because of function. Just saying. And she would crochet every morning and she would crochet. And she would make these lap blankets and then she would donate them to the nursing home in her 90s. In the 1990s, my grandma was in her 90s, crocheting like it was a job and playing Scrabble with her relatives, with her cousins. Now what's normal? 3 scripts in your 50s that they've designed for you and dementia when you're older. How fast are they building memory care right now? How fast? How fast? On every single ramp, on every single highway, how fast can they build them? We have to do different. We got to do better. The book over a year ago, I'm the beacon of light in a complicated world. Oh, Linda, you're so sweet. Oh, so you're talking the Rhodiola Revolution. Great book. Okay. Colleen, for years during my menstrual ages, I would take Advil. Oh, you guys, this is so for real. This is so for real. Oh my gosh. Almost every 12 hours during the full 7 days of my period each month. That was at the suggestion of my physician, of course. He then prescribed it, Motrin. So I didn't have to keep purchasing it over the counter because it was prescribed. Then in my early 30s began kidney issues. Huge stones causing blockages, surgeries, infections, leading to sepsis. It was years before I smartened up. Marcia says she's not sure if they've actually designed it that way, but American lifestyles and the refusal to change has demanded it. People want to pop a pill instead of making Maria Emmerich's recipes and changing their lifestyle. We do want ease. But and I do understand what you're saying, Marcia. And so I mean, I get what you're saying. I do feel like though that PHARMA is extraordinarily powerful. And there's a lot of profit in always only ever giving us an answer that has to be a script. And that's very frustrating to us because we're actually like, we think we're going to go to the matrix and have a conversation. We think we're going to go have a dialogue, but we're not. Because if you say, well, what can I do alternatively? You are super blessed if you have somebody, if you have a provider that will go down these roads with you. And if you do, God bless that person for real. Like I'm sure that they do exist. Usually that's just not been the experience of the people that end up connecting with me because obviously now you're looking for answers or whatever, right? And they'll say, well, there's nothing. Or they'll just write you out another script, or they'll tell you to, I mean, this is the conversations I have in my DMs all the time, where you go and the answer is always only add a script or up a dose of one. Add up, add up, add up. And it's just like, that's my dad. He ended up dying with a lazy Susan full of meds. And now what used to not be normal, can you imagine the profit that's being made? Because I'm telling you, the number one profit maker, in my opinion, I don't have a study to back this, but just from everything that I read, has to be type 2, has to be the most profitable condition in our country. Has to be. Because it's so prevalent. Even the C word, that's going to be profitable too, right? I get that. But that's not as prominent. Insulin resistance is off the charts, just off the charts. And so what happens is you get put on MET, and then you get put on HBP med. Then you get put on an STATIN. This is like this is their trio. And then when you get put on the STATIN, you end up with an anti-sadness, because that's what's going to happen from this one. So this is common. This is normal. And everybody is just walking around with all of these side effects. Maybe it makes you feel exhausted. Maybe it creates more brain fog. I don't know, because I'm not on them. I just hear from you guys. Maybe maybe you end up with digestive issues. I don't know. Whatever it is. All I know is that people say to me, I've got to get off of these scripts. I got to get off because you don't like the side effects. Linda says it's a codependent relationship between providers, patients wanting a pill fix, and farm. We need to break that codependency cycle with me care first. That's a good point too. Your endo doc scoffed when I asked about insulin resistance and type 3 diabetes. Yeah, I'm sure they did. Mm-hmm. And again, I didn't know any of that either. I did not make that connection until it was December of 2017. And my mom needed to move out of her house that she had lived in for 50 years. And we helped her facilitate that, et cetera. And we went on that dementia journey, and I began to research from a different lens. I was already talking about insulin resistance with people that were local to me. I was already sharing the trio in Minnesota locally, blah, blah, blah. But I hadn't gone online with that yet. But I'm really curious about insulin resistance and changing the way that I was eating. And I was in the middle of going from normal American diet to grain-free, sugar-free, all of these things. And I'm switching things out. And like Marcia said, to her point, we don't want to learn the Maria Emmerich, whatever recipe, blah, blah, blah. But when I did, it changed everything. But at that time, I'm researching and I'm reading stuff from Maria, and I'm doing stuff on YouTube like Dr. Ken Berry and Eric Berg and whatever. And I'm learning about this type 3 insulin resistance of the brain. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now? This is a component. And I started to really study my mother's behaviors. And I went, holy crap, this is nuts. Well, it's common to be called that in other countries, but not here. It's getting more common now. And I started to really pay attention. So my mother had renal cancer. She had a kidney removed probably almost 20 years prior to us beginning her dementia journey. So at that time, they told her, and I think they still tell people to this day. So if you've been told this, that you need to simmer down on your protein because of your kidney, I highly recommend that you go onto YouTube and you look up Dr. Ken Berry and you look up Dr. Eric Berg and you get the truth on stuff like this, that there are actually no studies that are showing. However, I didn't know any of this. Why would I know this? So my mother was told, you need to not be eating protein. Like that's so bad for your, like it's like just how we're told that fat makes you fat. They were saying that protein raises your protein. They probably still say this. I'm just telling you my story. And so she immediately ditched protein and became a carbaholic. Swedish, no type 2 in her family. Her mother, balloons, her mother, 97 playing Scrabble when she passes. My mom becomes overconsumption of carbohydrates for almost 20 years, becomes type 2, ends up with dementia, and we take care of her for 5 years. So I'm not super amazing about like not being really biased in my, not being highly opinionated because of my own experience. And I'm like, and by the time my mom left her home, she had stopped cooking for herself, but we didn't know that. She was functioning so high. She had such a high level of function because it was a house that she lived in for 50 years. So all of her patterns were really solidified and she was actually doing really well. She wasn't a danger to herself at all. So we're like, mom's fine. She's doing good, whatever. Then there were a couple of things that tipped us and we went, oh my goodness, we probably need to, whatever, find her a place, independent living, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. And so when that happened, I realized she was living off of biscotti. Do you guys know what biscotti? You guys probably do, from like Starbucks and stuff. Those hard, they're whatever. You eat them with your coffee. And dollar rolls, those little white dollar rolls that you get at Costco. She was literally eating everything white by that time. And she was drinking Diet Coke like a crazy person. That was where I had to do a puzzle thing on TikTok. That's when I started going, oh, look at her journey and how this went. So it's just a story. It's just a conversation. I think I tell stories sometimes because I want other people, if you've been having a thought in your head, you're not crazy. Like me too. But I didn't talk to people about this for a long time because, well, I thought I was the anomaly and I was crazy, and maybe my presuppositions, is that my word? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Everybody else is saying that that's wrong. And so then when you go and you talk about it online, you have to talk in code the entire time. Why do we have to talk in code, people? Why? Why do we have to do that? We should all ask that question. Why do we have to be so careful with our words? Why do I have to say script? Why can't I say the full name of the Met? Power. And you'll just be flagged bad. Thank you so much for all the likes, Lisa. You're amazing. I appreciate you so, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys have me up high today. You guys are awesome. We do need a lot of protein. We do need, Vicky, thank you for asking that. We do need a lot. In fact, I teach, so this is what I teach. I teach targeted supplementation, the trio, the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity, all of the, a bunch of testimonies are on the pink highlight bubble at the top of the Instagram page. Or if you're already in the Facebook group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, go to guide 4. Okay. That's where all the testimonies are. Okay. Number 2, I teach ingredient trade outs. I'm Italian, and so I thought that was going to be harder than it actually was. There are wonderful people on this earth like Maria Emmerich who teach you really cool ingredient trade outs. And then number 3, I do a challenge every month to help people on track. But I teach like what Maria Emmerich teaches: high protein. We are getting way too little protein, and protein will help you with feeling full, satiated. You will lose weight faster when you focus on high protein. You'll maintain your lean muscle mass. The amino profile of your muscle is almost identical to the amino profile in beef. Just saying, like that's not a mistake in this earth. So anyway, so high protein, moderate, really good fat to keep your hormones happy and to keep your brain happy. Your brain needs really good animal fats. Your body, your hormones, they're just like, when I went to a memory care with my mom and everybody in the circle was a female and there was only one guy, and I asked the question to the staff. Now, this is not a scientific answer. This is not a study. This was 2 people standing there next to me. Super curious, however, because I said, what's up with all the women? And literally they both at the same time said, oh, that was a low fat diet in the 90s. I was like, oh, okay, because we're starving our brains of really good fats and then very low carbs. When you're insulin resistant, you have to fix what got you into the pickle to begin with. And so what happens is we think we have all this mess. You go to your dietitian, your diabetic dietitian, and they're like, oh, honey, you can have 150 carbs a day, even though you're type 2. No, you can't. If somebody's telling you that, you have got to, in my opinion, I'm not giving any advice. In my opinion, I would be out of there so fast and finding somebody else that will actually help me, because that will keep you on scripts. 100%. Okay. Then somebody else might say, oh, 50 or lower. Somebody else might say, just count the net carbs, just the net. Like, do dirty keto. Come on. What does it matter? No, it really matters. Like, hello. So she teaches 20 or less a day. And I know that sounds restrictive, but it actually, once you understand the pantry, this is why I do pantry and fridge in the challenge. This is why, you guys, because once you understand that you're just trading out this set of pantry ingredients for this set of pantry ingredients, but you're still making the same foods, you're like so happy. You're not freaked out. You're not feeling like, it takes a minute. I get it. Like, it's a language. I get it. But I do not suffer not eating what I like. Okay, hold on. So she had an elevated creatine level a few months ago, and your doctor told me I was eating too much protein and it was not good for my kidneys. I was like, nope, I'm not removing healthy protein from my diet. You know what? And again, so everybody has to make their own decisions on this. I would highly, highly, highly recommend everybody, if this is your issue, go to YouTube, Dr. Ken Berry, kidneys, protein. Put that in there and just take in his information for whatever it's worth for your specific conversation. Because everybody's going to be different, and you do have to do what's best for you and what makes sense to you. Because I'm not a doctor, but Dr. Ken Berry is. I will never forget what you. Oh, funny. So, and Brenda, don't get me started on that low fat diet. Lost your gallbladder because of it. My stars. Yep. I'm sorry. 100% of women are going to be on menopause. 24% are prescribed anti-sadness. I'm telling you, you guys, you don't have to live like this. You don't have to live inside of your brain, girls. Listen up. When I had my first baby, my postpartum was super severe. Now, a part of it is because I lost a lot of blood. And They let me go home with a super low hemoglobin, and they shouldn't have done that. And I went home and my mom heard it in my voice. And she was like, something's not right with you. You need to, she only lived a half hour from me. You need to come and live with me right now with your baby. And so I did. And thank God I did, because I honestly did wonder things like, why is nobody coming and helping me? Why is nobody taking this baby from me? Like I understood mothers who potentially abandoned or something. Like it was just in my brain. I never ever took action on anything. But I'm just telling you, like that's that sadness that can come. I could not even smile. My 23rd birthday, he was a week old, and I literally, my face literally could not go up. It was just such an imbalance. So I didn't know then what I know now. And if I could go back and I could talk to her, I would say, Kirsten, God gave us adaptogenic herbs, and I will help you. But no, I've never heard the name. I was never connected to anybody who would talk to, like, I didn't know anything. Like for 20 years later, until 20 years later. But now what I do know, and I can tell women, is listen, we have, there is even, I'll give you third-party credibility here. There is a psychiatrist on TikTok who left the industry. It must be now 6 years ago. It might be 7. She left the industry of prescribing scripts, if you know what I'm talking about, anti-sadness and like little more issues up here, or anti-anxiousness. She said, she literally left the industry and said, I will not prescribe these anymore. And she works a lot now with adaptogenic herbs. So God gave me answers. That's why I talk about, here I am playing with my purple pill, or my purple packet. Because I took my purple packet this morning, which are my adaptogenic herbs. I didn't know any of this. I feel like God just gave me secrets without me even knowing it. And so when you have sadness like that, when my sadness came back or started to show up again, it was reminiscent of that postpartum, because it's all hormonal. It's just hormonal. And then if you're taking an statin, that's literally can be causing it. And so there are things that we can do. We just have to become our own advocates. We have to take things into our own hands. And then we need to have patience and grace for ourselves. And we have to give ourselves permission for a journey. Give yourself permission for a journey. Okay, will you do that? Nobody else is going to give you that permission. I went on, when I traded out my foods, just as an example of a journey, when I traded out my foods, I didn't tell anybody. I mean, everybody knew I was making food ingredient trade outs. That's fine. That's fine. But I'm talking about like my assessing emotional connections to food, or my assessing, triggers or childhood memories or whatever. I didn't tell anybody that I was doing all of that. I just allowed myself inside of my mind to ask myself questions. And I didn't require anybody else to help me deal with what only I could deal with, because it was my experience. Like whether or not you're told as a child to be a part of the sweet, the clean plate club, whether or not you are told, I was just told to eat because that's the Italian way, whatever it is for you, I had to go on that journey by myself. So I gave myself the permission for a journey. So even when we're talking about insulin resistance, you just bought 3 of her books. Are you talking about Maria Emmerich? No. Tell me who you're talking about, Cheryl. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're so sweet. She says, I'm so sorry you had such unrecognized postpartum sadness. I am thankful your struggles have become a platform to help others. Linda, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay. You just bought 3 of Maria. Good for you, Cheryl. Yay. Yay. Nobody ever, like, I just can't even tell you. And so again, this is why it's all the same conversation. I know that I just spent this last live talking to you about 2 different sets of supplementations, right? One was for the insulin resistance and one was for talking about adaptogenic herbs and the other hormonal conversation, right? It's the same conversation, you guys. It's just been siloed in our universe of discussion in the States here, maybe other places too. I just know my own experience. We have a menopause, a perimenopause conversation, menopause. We have an insulin resistant conversation. We have a gut health conversation. We have all these different doctors to do all these different things. And we're running around like chickens with our head cut off, making appointments and sometimes paying a lot of money in cash out of our pockets because a lot of it's not covered by insurance. Is anybody resonating with this? When we could be doing a lot of this on our own by targeting the supplements, like pulling back a bow and arrow, like you pull back that arrow and you target your supplements. And then let's talk about trading out your food ingredients and dealing with some of this. Oh my gosh, you guys, you know that on TikTok, what's that that original, I think I like this little life. I think I like this little life. That was in my head this morning. Now I know it's because I saw TikTok. I get it. But you know what? That's how I feel every day. I think I like this little life. It legitimately is how I feel. I wake up, I don't ache. I'm 59. I don't have a lazy Susan full of meds like my dad did when he died. I actually don't even have one. But I do have this. I bought this at the dollar store a handful of years ago. It has all my supplements in it. I've learned how to target what I want to target for me. And now I get to help other people target what they need to have targeted for them. And today, I'm going to go meet a stranger who's a customer of mine who lives 15 minutes from me. And I'm going to deliver a glucose product that's out of stock on the website, but I have inventory. I think I like this little life. That's how I feel. Because if you have function, if you have the opportunity to feel good enough to actually go out today somewhere, go visit a grandchild, go on a date night with your husband, get on an airplane. I'm going to go to Dallas here in a week. Like when you get to do these things and you're creating more memories, like I can't create memories for you. Nobody can create memories for me. Nobody's going to put memories in I have a dream board over here. You guys can't see it, but you can on Facebook. I have a dream board over here. Nobody can have those dreams for me. I have to have them for myself. But if you're in pain, if you're exhausted, if your brain fog is off the charts and out of control, if you can't sleep at night because you're being woken up all the time. And so then the next day you're just like, you just feel like you've been hit by a Mack truck all the time. That's not a functioning life, right? But we can change that. We can shift that. So, my best recommendation is don't sabotage yourself. Do reach out to me if you want to know about the trio for insulin resistance, if you want to know about the purple packet because you have brain fog and you need energy. Maybe you have a high stress and you need to know about the ashwagandha and the stress probiotic, or maybe you just want gut health help. Like what's in that cart? What's in that gut health cart? Like, I want to know that. Like, just reach out to me. Don't sabotage yourself, right? But then let's talk about ingredient trade-outs. Get into the group. This is a piece of homework. Get into the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Go to the search bar and search keto lasagna. There's a video that I did in there on how to make keto lasagna. Make something that makes you like really happy. Most people like lasagna, not everybody, but most people do. That one you could do. You could go to the store, you could get the ingredients today, and you could make keto lasagna. And then you would have a pan in your fridge that you can chunk out for yourself, that you can chunk out for your family, and you can prove to yourself that this is not as mountainous as you thought it was, like I did. It was a total mistake. It was a total path of least resistance I'm going to be lazy move that I started with supplements. 100%. I had no intention of ever doing any of the hard work. Not on my mind and not on learning how to trade out ingredients. 100%. Path of least resistance. I get it. I'm with you. I'm with you. You do not wake up one morning and become a disciplined person when you were extraordinarily undisciplined. You do not wake up one morning and you've got this figured out, trading out ingredients. And, when you were literally eating, you're addicted to Trader Joe kettle chips, salt and pepper, because they have an amazing garlic powder on them, and eating Milk Duds. It doesn't happen overnight. I get it. But will you give yourself permission for the journey? The time is going to pass anyway. It's just going to pass. You're going to wake up. It's going to be July 2025. You're either going to be on another script, or maybe the dose goes up, or I don't know. I think I get more and more keenly aware of my age. I'm like, I should probably be like, there's some other things I need to add into my life. I'm just saying, because I have things too that I'm not taking action on that I need to take action on. Like, I need to get into the gym. I need to probably be lifting weights, right? I'm 59. I'll be 60 in January. Like, I need my muscle mass to be really increased. Now I know that I can do it. And I know that pro's going to be a big part of that. So that's great. It's you, Linda. It's you. Yes. You're the stranger that I'm meeting today. Yes. It's so exciting, Linda. It's so fun. We're going to meet at Caribou, which is a coffee shop up in the Midwest, Minnesota. And yes, it's so much fun. It just is, like, I don't know. Just get excited about the possibilities of any given day. But when you're exhausted and you don't feel good, you don't feel like there are a lot of possibilities of exciting things in your life. I'm just saying. You're too tired to have a possibility thought process, right? Yeah, just saying. So, Joyce, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Any low acid, low histamine recommendations? So, tell me what your symptoms are. Tell me what that's about. Thank you guys for all the likes on TikTok. You guys are freaking amazing. You just got a membership yesterday, Cheryl. Good for you. I just know that I need to do a few things. You gave in and had a piece of pizza and it tasted terrible. Julie, I know. You want to get your sugars tested after 7 months of keto. Yep. Get them tested, Julie. You should. Because it matters. You have supplements and HRT bioidentical. Yep. And that's it. Good for you, Julie. See, we can do this together. I would love to know what your symptoms are of low acid and low histamine. Because again, sometimes I have a connection with somebody else. It's not because I know all the stuff. It's just because maybe I've talked to somebody else and we've figured out a piece for them. That's what that is. So just to let you know. And what time is it? It's 11:20. I do have to jump in a couple minutes because I have an appointment at 11:30. Leah. Thank you, Leah. Thank you. Okay, throat acid, anxiety if eating anything with histamine in it. So when you say throat acid, you're just talking about acid reflux, right? I mean, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. So this is my question then. Are you on a probiotic? This is how I would help somebody with that. Okay. So like if you reach out to me, I'd say, we're going to talk about the gut health cart right away. Immediately. Okay. Yep. So because in my opinion, if it were me, I would want to get off of, if you are on any scripts for that, I would want to work my way, whatever that looks like in your world, because I'm not your counselor on this, right? I would immediately want to get off of that. That would be my goal if I was on a script helping me with acid, because it's actually doing the opposite and it's messing you up. Okay. I know it's a tough conversation, but again, you can look this up on YouTube. Why would you want to get rid of the acid when you need the acid to do what is needed to get done? So anyway, I would immediately talk to you about the gut health cart. so that we can get you working on a digestive enzyme to break down your foods and to work with a probiotic that actually will deal. The one that you've used, it's the prebiotic. Okay. So I have two. One of them has a prebiotic and 5 strains. The other one does not have the prebiotic, but it is a stress one. So probably would not give you those issues, is my point. And then the third thing is I would talk to you about no meds, good for you. And then I would talk to you about a good fish oil. Okay. And what do I mean by a good fish oil? So those are the 3 things that are in the cart, by the way. Anybody can ask me for the cart, gut health cart. Those are the 3 things that are in it. A digestive enzyme, a probiotic, and a fish oil. When it comes to fish oil, you want it to be wild caught. All of the products that I have are third-party tested. But then even more than that, the fish oil that I take is 3 times more absorbable. And you want that because you need the inflammation to come down on the inside of your gut, and you need it to begin to heal the lining. Okay. So that's what that is. So you can reach out to me if that's what you want to do and get the gut health cart. My face is up here. And when you click on my face on TikTok, then it comes up again across the middle, like here. And if you click on me again, it takes you out of the live to my profile. But on my profile is my number. Okay. And my number, you can text me. Anybody can text me at any time. And you can say, I was on your live and you talked about this, whatever. And, I would like to see a cart, or I would like to see that product, whatever. That's perfect. And my site, for anybody who wants to know that, I'll show you this before I jump, because this is where you can get a free PDF, if you want to, of summer salads. I'll show you where they are. So this is my site. It's my first last name .com, kirstenliebelt.com. Okay. You'll know it's me. You'll know. Oh, there we go. It's my before and after. Okay. I'm trying to do all 3 at the same time. My number is right there. If you click on it, it doesn't do anything. It's just showing you my number. You can go there and you can text me anytime. Okay. This is just one page. Then you'll see things there. The trio is in here. The gut health is in here, etc. This button right there is that blue button is for a Facebook group called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And right underneath there is a PDF of some keto summer salads. It's just something that we had talked about in June. And I put it up there so that you guys could just have something right. But what happens is when you get into this one, when you get into the Facebook group, you will be tagged into a free PDF pantry, like some recipes, some snack ideas, some pantry suggestions, so that you can feel like you're getting a start on something. Okay. And then August 12th, in fact, I'll go and change the banner today. August 12th will be the start of the next challenge every day for 5 days at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will go through insulin resistance, ingredient trade outs. I'll take you into my pantry and my fridge. We'll make a recipe. Like, this is what we do every month. It's our 15th one. Okay. And then you can have success in the month of August. And then we'll do it again in September. Oh, thank you so much. She says, I really am respectful of your time and recommendations. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. So yeah, again, just reach out. Does it burp fish? Brenda, 2 things. When I first started taking fish oil, the answer is yes. Now, I don't know if they reformulated it. I do not have that issue anymore. However, recommendation, you can put it in the freezer so that it will break down slower in your stomach. That is one recommendation. And another one is to take it at night so that you're just sleeping and it doesn't matter anyway. Okay. So everybody has to have their own experience. So for me, not anymore, but I'm not sure if I'm positive as to because they changed anything with it. Like, I don't know for sure. So I don't want to make that claim, but all the products have a 6-month guarantee no matter what. People need to know that, because if anybody's touting a 30-day money back guarantee, How about 180 days to know if something works for you? I'm just saying, you could be 5 months of super consistent and disciplined and still have a month left on your guarantee. So I'm just saying, yeah, you are welcome, Brenda. So that matters. And the last thing that I'll say before I jump off, if you go to my site and you're like, I'm going to order something, will you do yourself a favor? It's not doing me a favor, it's doing yourself a favor. Go to the top of the page and there's a person icon. Click on that and register your free customer account with your name. And they're going to give you this little box that you can check for perks. And that's how you're going to get points for your products. Because if you can get points for your products and get cash off of future orders, I don't want you missing out on that. Okay? Don't do that. And there is a way to get double points. That's an auto ship thing. You don't have to do that. But get the points for your products because that's what helps you to offset future costs, or you can get things for your face, or you can get, yummy things for your whatever, your body, etc. You can treat yourself for being disciplined. Okay? All right. You guys have a super blessed day. I'm going to jump and get on to my other appointment. I just think you guys are absolutely the best. Linda, I can't wait to meet you today. I just think this is so much fun. And if you need a glucose product because it's out of stock, hello, I just secured more inventory last night. So reach out to me and let's get you figured out. Let's not make this confusing. I'm excited too, Linda. So good. All right. See you guys all later.